All right, so I purchased these Phillips Hue outdoor landscaping lights, approximately $125 each, a relatively expensive outdoor landscaping light. Very nice once they're functional. So when you buy this kit, what you get is an extension, which has a male and a female section. You get a light with also a male section, and then you get a DC power supply to power these. So for each and every light that you purchase, and I purchased 5 of these such lights, okay, you have a desire to string it along perhaps a walkway or a driveway or stairs. What Phillips Hue expects you to do is to power up each and every one of these power supplies, which is a 120 volt outlet here. Which means that if you say had a 100-foot walkway and you're installing 5 of these every 20 feet, you would have to run an extension cord to each and every one of these, okay? And that'd be a 120 volt extension cord, which would be very dangerous to run 120 volts along that length, and you'd be running a 120 volt extension cord along that whole section. So, in their literature, they show an adapter, okay, that allows you to join one extension cord to the next. Okay, but they're not available with these outdoor landscaping lights. I've asked Hughes to provide them, but they said no, even though it's advertised as such. So I'm going to remedy the situation. And this is not for everyone to do, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So I purchased this device here, and maybe you can zoom in on that, Justine, so people know what it is. But this is an outdoor connector kit that you can build from Hughes. Now when I told Hughes I wanted these, I asked over and over again. In fact, I showed them their literature where they advertise that you can do this, that you can join theirs with an adapter, but they don't make that adapter available for anyone. Okay, so first thing you gotta do is once you buy this kit, let me go through this first, is remove, this is a watertight connector kit. You remove that, and you have a bunch of screws here. 3 screws, 3 screws, 3 screws. They're all common, but they're not identified. There's no way to identify it. And perhaps that little circle here, it does identify it, but they're very difficult to see. So, first thing I do is I use a continuity meter. And I set it on the continuity setting. So you gotta get one of these. Beeps when there's continuity. And I identify the screws. So the first thing I do is I identify the red screw here, color screw red, and then I put my probe on it. And then I go find the next screw that beeps. See, these do not beep, no beep, no beep. So that red screw will come to this one, so I color it red. It's very important when making these connectors that you don't cross the wires. If you cross the wires, it will fail. It will not work properly. It will be a short circuit. So again, we are identifying red screws throughout. So we got that one. This one, paint it red. This is really to make sure we don't make a mistake when we're doing this procedure. Now I'm going to identify a black screw, and color this one black. So permanent marker. Again, this is just to help guarantee that you're not going to make a mistake later on in the process. Here is the screw. Now again, this one will work, that one will not work because that's not the connection. This is. So it's a flow through connection right here. And then I come over to the screw. Now, yes. Color the screw red, black I mean. There. So now we've identified the screws, we know we're not gonna make a mistake. So, $125 light. First thing you have to do when you buy it, because Phillips Hue doesn't provide the right connection, is you have to cut it. It's crazy. Crazy. Because the connector that they give you is only about probably 50 cents. Not a really expensive device. So a razor blade, and now I need to spread the wires, cut it and spread the wires. So I do that here, like that. So again, be careful when you're using a razor blade on this. You kind of want to try not to damage the wires, but in any case, that's the procedure. And these are electrician scissors. Again. So you can see that inside here, there's a black and a red wire. And we're trimming. Okay, the next thing to do, so we got black and red, 14, this is a 14 gauge wire about, so we strip about a 1/4 inch back. Again, about a 1/4 inch back. And we got a twist. Twist the copper wire at the end. Okay, so now we come over here. All right, try not to move the camera too much though. So what I'm doing is I'm loosening up the screws. If you look inside, the wires will go inside those holes. All right, so I'm loosening up the black screws and the red screws, the ones I colored earlier. I need to loosen them all up. So it's maybe about 30 minutes here to do this per piece. So I'm looking at about 2 hours of work. I got these connectors on Amazon. This is not a job for everyone, but if you want to do it right, you want a nice sealed connection, this is the way you do it. So this is on the end, and this is a weather-tight seal. I'm gonna poke the wires through, and I gotta fix my connection again. So we got a red wire, black wire, and we got a red screw and a black screw. So I'm gonna have to sit down here and do this because this takes multiple hands. And I'm going to take the T connection here, the one on the T here, and I'm going to put the red wire into the red hole and the black one into the black one. I'm gonna push and hold at the same time. While I'm doing this, again, this takes multiple hands. This is one of those jobs where you kind of wish you had 3 hands instead of 2. I gotta find my screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. And again, I make sure I'm applying pressure, keeping the wire in the hole, and I tighten it up. And I'll go back to that in a second and do a better job tightening. Again, applying pressure to hold it in, and tightening it up. So once it's done, kind of hold it good and tight and get a nice amount of torque on that. You guys all know what torque is, right? It's the radius of the lever arm times the force. All right, so put this connection on. make it good and tight. And then see, this is a rubber seal here. This is what makes this a very nice connection. It's going to seal against the elements and water intrusion, and it'll keep this connection good forever and ever. So the connections that Hue's does sell with their outdoor spotlights, they actually sell this connection with the spotlights as a kit. But you have to buy all 3 spotlights, and it's only for their spotlights. So I put spotlights in at my house, and the connection that they provided was great. So I had a desire, of course, to get those same connectors for these walkway lights, but they were not available. So this is the extension they provide. And the procedure is about the same here. I take it, and you can cut this to any length, but I cut it at the end. So you would do the same here. You would take their extension and cut it. And in the end, what we are looking to accomplish is we will cut and cut, spread the red and black wires, separate, strip them, and then poke each one of those into here and here. And what we have done is we've created lights that will now interconnect. I will only need 1 DC adapter for the whole entire lineup. So I got a 100-foot walkway. I'm looking to put lights along the walkway. When it's all said and done, what you have is a spotlight, okay, with connection on one end. That's male. Connection on the other end. That's female. One end will connect to the power supply. The other end will connect to the next light. And we will do that 5 times. So this is how you handle interconnecting the outdoor landscaping lights that Hue's provides you. Either that or all of you on Amazon can continue to complain to Phillips Hue that this is a necessary step that you would rather not perform, and that they make maybe $1 or $2 connector available as a separate purchasable item.